Hey, what's up? Slim Thick Brian, checking in for the week of September the 25th. Thanks for checking in once again. Nice. Great answer to the main driver in your bench progression. Overall, you have a really good grasp on, what led up to all of the changes as far as bench goes and, understanding just really common principles in strength training and bench press development that has really led to a lot of your recent success. So, moving forward, that's exactly what we're going to continue to practice. And that's part of what the off season is being built upon, is giving you opportunities to continue benching, adding more volume, letting volume kind of be the predictor of strength this time around, continuing to grow our upper body, adding more volume, adding more weight, doing more things outside of just regular competition pressing. That'll give you a chance to get better. While we're doing a lot of different variations, we're still continuing to get better at the competition press with our 3 count pause, and I think that's going to lead up to a lot of future success. Looking at your numbers overall, things are looking good. Happy to hear that we're getting better at understanding the RPEs and just getting into the swing of things again. Building this off-season program for you, I try to make it as simple as possible without letting you, feel so taxed mentally as far as progression and the movements go. The last thing I want to do is try to make training overcomplicated for you, especially with you, working long hours and with you going back to school. The last thing we need is for you to have, such a high amount of stress going into training. So if I can control it the best I can, that's what I'm going to do. Happy to hear that you're going back to stiff like a deadlift. I know we kind of had a small talk about, that belt squat thing, but I didn't want to kind of seem sort of douchey when I was telling you it's not doing anything, because it does do something, but I just don't think you're not moving the weight per se. I think you're just kind of stabilizing it, and what you're really doing is just kind of touching your toes. So you're kind of just preventing yourself from moving with the weight, and then just having a stretch in your hamstrings. So I don't think there's no load being moved, so I don't think there's actual work being done. But with the stiff-legged deadlift, you don't really have to adhere so much to the RPE. More so, I would just like to see you do weight. You don't have to add. The goal isn't to do 405 with a stiff-legged deadlift. Ideally, start with 135, and then 135 it turns into 145, 155. We're just gonna use it as a vehicle to develop our hamstrings here and focus on postural integrity. But overall, things are looking good. You're still kind of mid-barring on that high bar squat. I want to see you try to put it on your traps. I want it to be here instead of back here, because your mid bar is essentially my low bar. So I just want to invite you to try doing that this week. Moving your hands in just a little bit, it might feel a little bit more comfortable. You might feel a little bit more athletic, quote unquote, and I think that might make a big difference. So trying to inch our fingers in here, I think it'll be a big change. During our off season, while there's a lot less stress when it comes to focusing on the movements, try to use the off season as an opportunity to build off of in the future. So a lot of the things that we're trying to do now is addressing weaknesses and just trying to maintain or develop musculature. But one of the main things is also trying to get good at these movements. So when we're going into the competition season or a competition prep, it makes the transition a little bit easier, and we're feeling a lot more confident going into it. So really focusing on the 3 count pauses, getting good at the 3 count pauses, dropping the ego, and really trying our best to maintain 3 count pauses. Really adhering to the safety squat bar. Trying our best to be good at them, fighting against the limitations of what a safety squat bar does to you, and trying to take advantage of that. And I think these are sort of the things that we kind of forget about. Off-season doesn't mean we stop working, but it definitely doesn't need to necessitate us being so hardcore again. It's all about balance, and this is kind of our time to kind of have a relaxing sort of training cycle, not so much stress, but still a chance for us to grow and really build on it. But moving forward, things are looking good. I'm pretty excited to see what we can put together at the end of this training cycle, just to see, where we are as far as strength goes on high bar squat, seeing what we can do for a deadlift without any tapering or anything like that. So we'll see. But other than that, great check-in again this week. Kind of a short check-in. Great answer. Happy to hear that we're kind of chiming in and linking on the same level, understanding what's going on. But if you need anything from me, text me again. Great job again this week, and I'll talk to you soon, man.